What's up YouTube, Tyler from Yugi Bros, and I decided to take a break from playing Call of Duty Ghost and wanted to throw you guys a deck profile on something I've been playing a lot around with, Trix. Obviously they've been having some hype, seeing as how they seem, ever since that kid talked with them, a lot of people have been playtesting him, talking about all the different plays. It's the fact that they search out, like, just anti-meta problems, like, it literally just pumps out stun. It's such a good grind deck. And it just seems like it's really good overall. I think they're definitely not broken. I think it'd be great if they can get some support being broken, but being a good deck as they are, I decided to build them once I heard about them, and some kid topped with them, and I forget who it was, but you'll see my build is similar to his with some different stuff. And he's the one who actually made me want to play it, because I was looking at it and it was playing all the stuff that annoys the hell out of other opponents, and that's what I love to do. Being a big fan of playing troll decks and stuff like that, this kind of fit right in. So I jumped on deck profile, talk to you about why I'm playing it and all this different stuff and that. Alright, so for Traptic Monsters, I'm playing the 3 Negators. She allows you to play trap holes out of your hand, which is broken as hell, because you can have 5 and then they activate it and they go right to the grave. And also, if your opponent decides into Kree game 2, she's the MVP. She literally she stops trap cards from being negated, so it's really clutch. And I play 3 with a Searcher. I don't even know the names of them, but Normal Summoner, she searches a trap hole card, so like your Void, your trap hole from normal summons, your Bottomless, and if you're playing like the Acid Trap Hole or Deep Dark Bottomless, whatever the hell that one's called, you play that too. She's also good because if you call her, she pops a spell or trap on the field, and that's really useful because you play triple call. I got the double Beatron because these are all insects, so Beatron combos off of spells and traps to get her out to pop one, and allows you to go into crazy plays. 2 Fossils because you do play Safe Zone, and if you can lock down your opponent first turn with that, it's just broke business, and it's too good. 2 Mist Valley Falcons. At first I didn't like them, but I began to really like them because it allows you, whenever you have a dead card, like a dead call, dead whatever, it allows you to just add it back to hand, like so that Fiendish. If you finish a monster on activation, your opponent's monster, you're allowed to bounce it back to your hand, set it, get over that monster if you have to, and then just reset and use it again when you need to. Same thing with like Safe Zone plays, Safe Zone their monster, Mist Valley Falcon, your Safe Zone to hand, destroy their monster. It's been a really good out for me so far. 1 Mole, 1 TK, and 1 Banisher to finish the monsters off. Mole has been so useful and so stupidly annoying. It just gets rid of problems. TK is a broken card, one of my favorites ever made. And Banisher, I was debating between Banisher and Kaiku, just because, the dragons being the tier 1. But I think Banisher is better overall, like right now, because of all the diversity in decks. I mean, yeah, dragons are topping every single deck, every single time. But there's tournaments where I go in and I'll only play the 2 dragons. This is how it is. I definitely, like, I forget how many monsters are here. So far, I've actually been having the problem of clogging, if anything. Like, I never really have a shortage of monsters, which isn't bad. But clogging with this isn't too bad because it allows you to just, protect your stuff because you actually have monsters. So I run the 3 pots, which allows me to get to this and this. So I play a triple pot, 1 hole, Book of Moon, Seal, and 1 MST. That's it for spells. I wasn't running MST at first, but when my opponent flips things like Skill Drain for like game 1s or just stupid annoying things, I had to find a way to do it. So I just played MST so I can get that 1 draw. But everything else seems to be working out really well. Now to this giant pile of traps. Alright, so traps I'm playing 1 Warning, 1 Compulse, 1 Torrential, 1 Bottomless. Self-explanatory. For holes, besides Bottomless, I'm playing 2 Voids and 2 Trap Holes. Trap Hole is really good because against the Ophion and Goodseller matchup, it literally just gives you such an advantage. It seems like even with spellbooks, like getting rid of Kaiku and getting rid of Justice and Temperance is really good if they don't have that Wisdom, but it's a good card in general. Void is great. Like anything 2000 or more, just like gets rid of it. So I don't have to worry about that at all. I'm playing 3 Fiendish Chains to stop the attacks from going through, because I need to save my monsters sometimes. Also, it stops their effects, obviously. I'm playing Triple Call the Haunted to bring back my monsters. Same thing with the Trap Trix, allows me to pop. 2 Mirror Forces. 1 Ceasefire. Ceasefire is good for the Fossil Dino plays. You wouldn't believe it, but it actually works. And on top of that, it burns down for late game problems. And these are actually not Geometrios, these are safe zones. I do not have my safe zones with me. So these are proxies, but these are 2 safe zones. So a decent amount of traps, but they you need to protect everything. I don't play prison because I'm not a huge fan, and on top of that, I can't afford them, so I'm poor. But in my opinion, whenever I play them, it's a 1-for-1, and it doesn't do enough for me. It's good, but like I said, it's a 1-for-1. Now my side is very everywhere. I'll tell you what I plan on playing, what I would like to play, but their side is always custom. It's always what you feel comfortable with. So 2 Kinetic Soldiers for Noble Knights and Rogue stuff. 1 more Banisher. 2 Side Blockers. A Breaker. I'll probably play 2 Breakers. Breaker's really good. It's surprising. Soul Drain, Macro, Fissure, because none of them bothers me. The 2nd Void Trapple. 3rd Void Trapple. Light Imprisonment Mirror, because Noble Knights are real. Light Swarms are real because people, for some reason, play Sacky decks. I don't know why. And Constellars, which are assholes all the time. So I play probably 2 of these. Other things I would play in here, find room and play around with this deck some more, would be walls, iron walls. DNAs are amazing right now. Debunks so I can fit them. More lights, that type of stuff. As far as extra goes, extra is nothing but rank 4s. You barely go into them. Really, the only ones that matter to me are these 3 cards. Fairy King is the best rank 4 in this whole deck. That says a lot. Just because it allows you to drop them by 5, and then most of the time you can get over it. Unless they're at 28 and you have to bang out, that's the only problem. And if your opponent has a 28 monster on the board, it's probably not going to hurt you in general, if it stays. Cowboy works out well too because it drops him by 5, and Fairy King doesn't affect him because he's Earth. Also, the 800 burn late game helps. And Chidori, I only played 2 wins, but I actually go into this quite often because usually when you have a monster on board, you don't lose it in this deck because you have so much protection. And yeah, it's just a good card in general. I have Pearl, Maestro. I'm playing the Avagishki guy that bounces back to the deck because that's pretty good right now. Dweller, all that jazz. So it's kind of whatever you want to play in it. Because, it is Trap Trix, and you don't really go near stuff, and if you do, it's very situational. But that's it for Trap Trix. It's a pretty cool deck so far. I've played it against the Dragon so far, Prophecy. I've played against my own Water. I played against Ghost Trix. That was so stupid. It was literally just straight grind. I had to almost mill his... I had to get rid of every single monster in his deck by stunning to death. Just so he could be like, okay, I have no plays. I'm like, I know. I have way too much back row. That was the dumbest matchup ever with this deck. So that's what I don't want to see with this deck if I play Ghost Trix. I don't feel like playing for 4 hours. But, yep. So that's Trap Trix. I'm going to head back to Ghost. If any of you people watch this video, like me, think I'm good at Call of Duty, think I'm good at Yu-Gi-Oh!, probably going to be better at that than Call of Duty. So, be in fear of people. Find me. What's my account right now? Electric Chair. All caps. Instead of a C at the end of electric, it's a K with an underscore and then chair. So add me on PSN, and if so, I'm definitely down to play. Thank you guys.